Hello arcade gamers, and welcome back to Biggie D's Arcade. Today we're going to get outside, we're going to do our second walk and talk, and we're going to travel to the Superstition Springs Mall in Mesa, Arizona. We're in the middle of winter right now. It's absolutely beautiful, only about 70-75 degrees today. Beautiful sunny day, clear skies. So we're going to get outside, move around a little bit, check out this arcade at the mall. Also going to travel to Best Buy, see if they have any Arcade 1-Up products that we can look at. And I brought all my gear, brought my gimbal, my phone stand here so I can do some video just like we're seeing now. Hopefully all this turns out pretty good and we can enjoy it together. But let's go ahead and get started. Okay guys, we have arrived at the Superstition Springs Mall in Mesa, Arizona. And you can see behind me the beautiful mountains and palm trees. I'm just loving the weather today, so this is a perfect opportunity to get outside and do some walk and talk. We are going to head inside and check out a small arcade supposedly that is on the first floor. I don't know much about it. There were no pictures on the Google listing. I don't even know if it's going to be open today, but we're going to go inside and try and find out. Also, we'll check out any other stores that may have retro gaming content or collectibles, things that we can take a look at today. So let's go ahead and head in. Okay guys, so I found the arcade. Joystick Arcade, and it was much smaller than I thought it was going to be. I did notice it had this Punch Out or Big Punch Deluxe Ultimate, and what's funny is I was thinking about doing a small video on the possibility of Arcade 1-Up maybe doing a smaller version of one of these. I know they have to be pretty heavy for you to be able to hit it and box it, but maybe they could come up with some type of design that would be sturdy enough for you to be able to actually hit that punching bag and it work in the home, be small enough for the home. So you guys let me know what you think. Would you guys buy one of these if Arcade 1-Up made one? Then we've got, of course, these toy claws, and we've seen some products out there of some toy claws. Maybe Arcade 1-Up gets into the toy claw business, but I'm not quite sure if that's going to happen yet. And then, of course, the change machine would be a good idea, I think, for Arcade 1-Up to, make a change machine possibly, or just for looks. Now, this was kind of cool here, I thought. Injustice Arcade by Raw Thrills has the DC license. Of course, this came out on consoles, but this is an arcade version of it. You got your special attack button, quick, block, strong, start, and by card only. And now featuring team cards. And I like the lighting on these speakers, even though it's not super bright. It does kind of remind me of Guitar Hero. Not quite sure what this is. Pink Date. Here's tickets. A lot of these arcades have a ticketing system where you can get some prizes. Now this is kind of cool. I like that topper. Look at those eyes. Terminator Salvation by Raw Thrills. Really good graphics. I'll probably get a chance to play this one, or I'll probably will play it. Looks like it's worth $1. What do y'all think? And look at these guns. Now that's a gun right there. That's a T2 gun. So pretty cool little arcade there. And look at this. So we got NOS, Nitrous Oxide Systems. Really a lot of detail on these. I've not heard of this arcade before, but it's a Namco arcade, and they did really good with the toppers. So this is a very small arcade. I'm talking, this is it. We just saw it all. But they used their space very well. And for the home arcade community, this could be helpful. You could see how much they fit into this little space. And these are full-size arcade units. So I hope you guys have enjoyed. I think this was a successful outing. Get to check out this little arcade here by my apartment before I move across town to Glendale. and we'll see what's available over there. But I'm going to continue with these walk and talks. I'm actually going to continue this video today. We're going to just kind of walk around this mall, see if there's anything left to look at. Okay guys, so I found another arcade, or I guess what you could call an arcade, but there's not many arcade games in here. So let's take a look. So they got, of course, these claws. These things seem to be really popular. They probably make a lot of money. The toys that you get aren't very expensive, and your chance of actually getting a toy is pretty slim. So they've been focusing, it looks like, on that. I did find this Big Buck World, which I wish was available to play right now, but it looks like it's down. And I don't see an out of service sign for it, but it is definitely not on. So I call it an arcade because it does have one arcade, but it's not working. Some more toy claw machines. These things are super popular here at this mall. Found another one of these Ultimate Big Punch Deluxe. I remember these growing up. They were really popular back in the day. I guess that is still a thing today. And then this one, Trap Door. So, looks like you can get some pillows. And then we got Grab a Duck, got Bling, and Night Hero, which is just candy. And that candy is probably so old. I would not want to eat that. It's not even name brand candy for the most part. And then we've got here Fast Track. Looks like it hasn't been played in a while. Air hockey table. And just some of these little change machines. So I'm going to walk around the mall now, and we can just discuss a little bit about Arcade 1-Up on the go. Not sure if security here is going to be okay with me filming, but I know PD7 does it all the time. He doesn't seem to have a problem in his walk and talks. And I think as long as we're in public, there is no expectation of privacy in public. So I should be able to film everywhere. Cutting Edge, look at this place. I know P-Dubs would love a place like this. He collects these Game of Thrones and Lord of the Rings toys. And looks like this is all about swords, figurines, and knives. That is a pretty cool looking head. All right. So we'll move on to some other stores here and just kind of walk around the mall. But I did want to discuss a little bit about Arcade 1-Up in this walk and talk. So we got the live stream on Thursday with Travis MCP and let's see, who else? David McIntosh. So we heard David McIntosh is the, what we call the VP now of marketing. So his job is to get his product out to the masses, to people like us, the enthusiasts, the customers, the people that would potentially want to buy an Arcade 1-Up. Here's a kind of a cool store, a Hot Wheels store. Speedy Airbrush. Be back in 20 minutes. But I remember these, I used to be a Boy Scout. And we would make these little toy cars and we would race them down these tracks. And I remember that growing up. Maybe you guys did that as well. But a little bit back to David McIntosh. So his job is to get this product out to us, right? So we see it somewhere and it triggers us to purchase. And he said we're going to get 2 to 3 new releases and what sounds like a bunch of re-releases. And these re-releases could happen in collectible form. Could be something small like a countercade or a collectorcade. Or it could be, you know, some wall signs or stools. But they're probably going to try and use some of their other licenses that they haven't used before on some of these collectible items. And then I think their new arcades, their 3/4 scale, their XL, potentially a Pro, is going to be at least one new title, maybe two new titles this year, possibly up to three, he said. So what do I think those three titles are going to be? I think possibly we could be getting Time Crisis. Now the thing about Time Crisis is it's going to be, I think, a redesign. It's not going to be the leak we saw. If it was the leak we saw, then we probably already have it, or we would have a release date coming up very soon. So I think what they've done is they've decided to pull that design and completely redo it. And I think that's the right decision. Pull the product that you created and then do something completely new, redesign the entire thing. Now, do I think it's going to be released this year if they do that? It's possible. He said 2 to 3 new. So let's say Time Crisis is one of those 2 to 3. I think your other one that's most likely to get made is going to be Q*bert. The Q*bert is going to be made because I said they already have the license for it. So we've already got the license for Q*bert, and he said they're going to be doing a new 80s title, and I think that's it. It's not yet confirmed, that's my opinion, but I think that's what we're going to be getting. Now, what do we think of this third potential title? He said 2 to 3, so it could just be Time Crisis and Q*bert. But what about that third title? So I think that third title is going to be either an Afterburner or a Hydro Thunder. And I think either Afterburner or Hydro Thunder, if they do it this year, is going to be an XL. I think that they need to make, especially an Afterburner, in an XL form. So I think that's what we're getting. And if I had to guess between the two and put some money on it, I'm going to say Afterburner XL. I think that's our best option or best guess right now for that potential third cabinet. Now, what else are we going to get? He said we're going to get a lot of re-releases in that small collectible form at lower prices. And I did a video yesterday, which probably wasn't the most exciting video because it's on these countercades and these accessories and these stools and furniture type things, not the actual arcades themselves. And I think they're going to focus a lot of attention on those products because they bring in additional revenue. They increase the amount of revenue the company receives throughout the year. If they just focused on arcades, I don't think we would see them be as successful. So I'm interested in seeing what they come up with. There's a Sonic. Tails. But you guys let me know what you think is coming. And then we have iArcade. Now iArcade, they're in a little bit of a predicament right now because they are first and foremost a software company that sells some hardware. They sell the standard edition and the gold edition cabinets. They mentioned maybe some potential new skins this year on the gold. And I'd noticed the gold is pretty much completely sold out. They don't have any new units on the website. So I'm thinking they're preparing their new skin cabinets, which may be getting released here very soon, or maybe this summer. But I think we can pretty much guarantee that we're going to get some new skinned gold cabinets coming up. And I think your best options for that are going to be Moon Patrol, Ninja Baseball Batman, R-Type, which could be any one of the 3 R-Types that they have, and then Major Title 2. I think they need to stick to the skins being Iron titles because those are the recognizable names and games that we remember or we've heard of before. But we'll see. They could go off and do like more Dead Cells and games that aren't traditionally arcade games. I hope not though, because I'm more of the nostalgia of these arcades, and I think they could really hit a home run with games like Moon Patrol and Ninja Baseball Batman skins. Make it basically, you could make it a dedicated Ninja Baseball Batman, and it would be a great unit to have in the arcade with just that one title, as long as it's skinned and it looks good. Now the last and final thing and competitor that we discuss in the home arcade market is At Games. And At Games has really made a lot of news and excitement recently with their new 4K product line, which is going to be your At Games Ultimate Legends 4KP and your At Games Legends Pinball 4KP. Everyone has been dying to hear if At Games is going to do something new. You know, the Legends Ultimate and the Legends Pinball has been out for a very long time, several years now, and it was time for something new. And I think now we've got that. We've got confirmation of it, but we don't know what it's going to look like, and we don't know what it's going to cost. Those are the questions. What's the cost? What's it going to look like? So there's still a lot of unknowns, and I'll be covering it as more information comes down the pipeline. But my initial thoughts are they could take a big chunk of the market with this product. Arcade 1-Up is slowing down. Their new releases are slowing. We're down to only 2 or 3 possibly this year, and a bunch of re-releases. So this is the opportunity. This is the time to pounce for At Games and get the most bang for their buck on this new product. The timing has worked out perfectly for them to release now. And I see almost the entire community interested in these 4K products. So I do think that it's going to be huge. And the 4K screen, the 32-inch 4K screen, is the way I believe virtual pinball was meant to be played. I think it was meant to be played and look as realistic as possible. But here's a pretty cool store with some collectibles. Let's take a quick look here. Not much into these small collectibles, but I do appreciate them. And I know a lot out in the community enjoy them as well. But yeah, with the 4K products, I think that was the way pinball was meant to be played, virtual pinball. I will play my Attack from Mars, and there'll be moments where I'll actually think in my mind, this is almost like playing the real Attack from Mars pinball table. But I only get those moments they're very brief. I'm talking seconds during my time of playing it. But I think with a big 32-inch screen, a big back box with a big screen on the back box, better speakers, haptic feedback, not being the exciters, but actually being true haptic feedback, I think we're going to get a better experience, and it's going to feel more realistic. So I think with this new one, you could actually play pinball, and maybe not for just seconds, but for almost the entire time or close to the entire time you're playing it, you could get that feeling that you're playing a real pinball table. And that's what we're after. That's what we want. The technology is starting to come around now. The prices are starting to come back down on that technology to where they can actually put out a product that we would purchase, that we would be happy with at a price tag, hopefully, that we can afford. And I'm thinking it's probably going to be $1,200 up to $1,500. That's my guess. I've heard some people say it could be as low as $9.99, maybe even $8.99. I think that's a stretch. Knowing At Games and knowing what they charge for their products, especially the direct-to-consumer products, I think we're going to be looking at a high price tag, guys. But pretty much wrapping up here, we got to talk a little bit about Arcade 1-Up. Got to talk a little bit about At Games and iArcade today. Okay, arcade gamers, we are at Best Buy in Mesa, Arizona. We just finished at the Superstition Springs Mall across the street. Found 2 arcades. Now we're going to go into Best Buy and see if they have any Arcade 1-Up products. I did check the website before I left today, and it didn't show they had any Golden Tee XLs within 50 miles of this area. So I'm going to go inside and see if they have one. I did notice that in store they're selling them for $315, and if I find one today, I'll probably get it. But let's go ahead, go inside, and see what they... So I came across these Logitech Blue Yeti mics, and you know, as content creation gets bigger and easier for people to get into, I've noticed these mics seem to be some of the most recommended. People within the home arcade community have actually personally recommended these Yeti mics to me. So you guys will have to let me know, do you think I need to look into a better microphone? Do you think I sound good in the chillin' chats and the videos that I do make? Or do you think I need to upgrade? Because it looks like we have plenty of options in the Logitech Blue Yeti category of microphones. Maybe get one of these Blue Yeti casters as well. But just kind of looking at these and trying to decide, should I get a new microphone for my streaming, creating, and podcasting? Let's go ahead and head on over to Arcade 1-Up. I noticed they got some products. Okay guys, so I found the Arcade 1-Up stand here. Looks like we got a Pac-Mania. It looks like this is the standard for most Best Buys for display. And it looks like they have a Simpsons, which is currently, not seeing a price for it. They do have NFL Blitz. They have one. And it's coming in at $5.99. Woo! Big price tag on that. And then they got a Ridge Racer stand-up for $6.99. A Bandai Namco Pac-Mania Legacy Edition with riser and lit marquee for $4.99. Oh, look at this. Turtles in Time Arcade, $315 on clearance. There's none left. Dang it. They don't advertise these in-store deals on the website. You have to come in to find them. So missed on that one. Here's the display they got. Class of 81, X-Men, Tech from Mars, and then the tabletop 2-player head-to-head with Marvel versus Capcom. Let's look at these place markers. So we got NFL Blitz, Miss Pac-Man, Terminator 2, Simpsons, Golden Tee 3D they have, Infinity Game Table, Ridge Racer, and NBA Shaq Edition. So there is no price here listed for Golden Tee. So I'm going to talk to someone and I'm going to see what they're going to be selling this for. Actually, in fact, I'm going to ask them what they're selling all these for because there's no price tag. Maybe I'll get lucky. Okay, guys, so I did check with the front counter and it looks like pretty much all these are $700. They do have the Infinity Game Table in stock. It's $999. But 700, 700, 700, 700, 700. This one here is on clearance for $315, but I think I can get a better deal than that. And he said they have plenty in stock. But I'm looking to get this one around $250 or $200 if possible. May end up having to spend the $315 though. Now this one is the one I was going to pick up today if it was $315. And guess what? He rang it up and it was $316. However, even though they have all these placeholders, looks like 50 or so placeholders, they don't have any in stock. So that saved me the $315 today, but I'm not going to be able to leave with the Golden Tee 3D XL, which is one that I wanted. Even with the poor screen and poor lighting, I could always replace it later. But unfortunately, they did not have it in stock. So I did want to show you guys, though, they do have one of these infinity game tables. Man, look at that price, $999. So they're wanting big money for a lot of these arcade one-ups in store at Best Buy, but you can get lucky, guys. If you come in, you know, randomly, they may be running a clearance on something. Like, for instance, this Turtles in Time right here for $315. That's the best price I've seen so far. They don't have any in stock, unfortunately, but that is a deal. So I'll be coming back to Best Buy in my walk and talks and just checking the prices out. I know that's helpful for you guys out there. Okay, guys, that's going to conclude my second walk and talk. I really appreciate you guys coming along with me. We got to see some really cool arcades at the mall and checked out some arcade one-up products at Best Buy today. We got to see some clearance items. Unfortunately, they were not available, but who knows? Maybe next Best Buy I go to, I'll be able to find something I want. But I appreciate everyone who has watched. Make sure to like, subscribe, comment. I'll see everybody in the next video.